and it's a pleasure. Okay, let's see. What number is this? Okay. Joseph Lawrence is here with us. Is a political security analyst. Joseph, welcome.
Thank you very much. Today is another beautiful Monday again.
Yes, it's another beautiful Monday. Yes, it is.
I love your song. I say I will be in my Monday.
The video vixens. Yes, I've already cancelled. This here when you go bab. So
this to get some inspiration.
All right, and we already have our guest. He's joining us from Abia State. He's online with us and is joining us from Abia State. Let's see if we can have him so he can hear me.
So that I can get the full footage of you.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can we mute our own in-house? Okay. All right. We'll be having Chief John Oki-Kalu with us shortly. He was the then Commissioner for Trade and Investment in Abia State. And before then, he was a Commissioner for Information from 2017 to 2022. And he'll be responding to some of the things we've heard about Abia State. The previous governor, we'll be talking about those, and he will be refuting what should be refuted, corroborating whatever should be corroborated if there is anything like that. And that is what we'll be having. So is there a right of response we're having today on the program? You're welcome to the program this beautiful morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes. How is Abia State today?
Beautiful.
Yes, it's good to know that Abia is beautiful. And while we were doing the sign-on and all that, I'd made us realize that you were the former Commissioner for Trade and Investment, and before then you were the Commissioner for Information under His Excellency Piazzo, and you're the best person to have join us today. So before we move on, I'm sure you've heard everything that's been going on, that's been said, the KPMG report and so on. What is the general response to the KPMG? There is a word now missing. The fact-finding mission KPMG undertook as directed by the governor, the current governor. What's the general response to it before we start going inside to look at some of the things therein?
Thank you very much. My first response is to say that contrary to what the governor said in United States of America, that is at Johns Hopkins University, what he conducted was not a forensic audit. The governor stated clearly, and of course the governor is someone that we know worked in a bank. We expect that he will know the difference between a forensic audit and a process review. What he commissioned was a process review. And it's important for people to know that a process review is distinct from a forensic audit. A forensic audit will naturally follow the money and be in a position to indict people for corruption, for stealing, for misappropriation, and so on. Whereas a process review will simply say to you that these are things that obtain with your processes. These are the areas where you can make changes. If you look at the KPMG report, number one, they were very clear on the fact that what they conducted was a process review, contrary to what the governor told the whole world. Number two, they also said that, look, there were documents we could not access as at the time of conducting this report. This report was never meant to serve as audit of the previous administration or the administration between 2015 and 2023. They also said that clearly their mandate was limited, availability of documents made their work further more difficult than anticipated. So when the governor told people that what was conducted was a forensic audit, it's unfortunate that he preferred to travel to the United States of America to malign his predecessor instead of promoting Abia and Nigeria. Because what he basically did there was to go there and say that Nigeria and Abia is a country of thieves, and that even in his state, he discovered XYZ using KPMG, or what he described at the time as one of the top 3 audit firms in the world, as reference point, which is unfortunate because even in the reports that he published finally, we could see that his predecessor scored 64% compliance without even being part of the audit. It is important that people know that the previous administration did not participate in the review. We were not aware, we were not asked for document, and furthermore, and most crucially, Governor Lesoti had already decapitated continuity in government. When we talk about continuity in government, we are talking about the civil service. The civil service represents the continuity in government. The top echelon of the civil service, if they were in place, would have been able to provide some of those documents that would have given life to the queries raised by KPMG. Number two, you need to also understand that in that same report that was given to Governor Lesoti, for the first time, that report said that there was a net cash credit of 3.49 billion, which gave a lie to the story of Governor Lesoti that his predecessor did not leave any money with him. You can check that report. I've given screen grabs of it to one of your colleagues. You are free to publish any of those documents I've given you. Regarding the saga, the airport saga, if you will, if you are okay.
Well, we're going to come back to that one. We're just moving step by step. You just said, okay. I'd like you to mention the figure again. So you said that the previous administration did leave some money in the state's account. Can you tell me that figure again, please?
I am saying that according to the report published by Governor Lesoti, that there is a net cash balance of 3.49 billion naira.
Okay.
3.49 billion naira. It is stated in black and white there. I'm not sure they would like the whole world to hear about it. But that actually is not the only cash or near cash instrument left with the OT administration. I want to say to you that before we left office, we concluded work on $50 million rural access, agriculture and marketing projects. We paid the counterpart fund for that project and we got $50 million. We left it for Alex Oti's administration to use. We also concluded work on a $200 million African Development Bank facility. As at the time we were leaving, they made available, they confirmed the availability of $115 million. That again was left for the administration of Alex Oti. If you remember, when the Minister for Finance, Wale Edun, gave the Federal Executive Council approval to assess and spend to the OT government, they stated clearly in that release that this was an old facility obtained by the previous administration. It was very clear. So when he says to the world that we left him only debts, that we didn't leave anything for him, his own report is now giving a lie to his own statement. His own report is saying we left him 3.49 billion naira as net cash and stated the bank where that money was at the time. His own report, of course, would have corroborated the fact that we left $50 million RAM facilities, we left an additional $115 million African Development Bank facility. At this time, if you are a governor and you walk into all that and also walk into a 40 million naira due credit on stamp duties, as well as a FAC reconciliation showing a net debt of 6 billion naira to the Igbazu administration by FAC, which was made available to the LT administration, you can now begin to see for yourself who was telling the truth and who was not telling the truth.
Okay, let's now go to the airport. The fact that, not a fact now, I need you to say whether it was a fact or not, was 10 billion naira allocated for the building of an airport in Abia State?
Let me give you the facts. On 24th of September 2020, I was a member of the State Executive Council. I was also the Commissioner for Information as at that time. The State Executive Council met, and if you remember, that was during COVID period. Our meetings were not very frequent because of COVID and the need for us to stay apart to avoid the infection of the members of ESCO. Now, on the 24th of September, we met, and it was presented before us the need for us to invest in an airport. ESCO approved the investment, also approved the borrowing of 10 billion naira from UBA PLC, United Bank for Africa, in a contractor finance arrangement that will support the PPP arrangement we had in mind for the airport. Now, immediately after I made the announcement myself to the general public that we are going for this facility, we want to start work on an airport, traditional rulers in Abia State visited Governor Ikpeazu and said to him, "Our dear governor, we do not think that the state should prioritize an airport. What we will rather have is that you invest that 10 billion naira in improving the road infrastructure stock of the state." In fact, they highlighted some of the roads that will need quick funding and fixing. The governor agreed with them and, of course, gave a different instruction again to the Commissioner for Works to pursue, to bring a schedule of road projects we can finance based on our budget for that time from the 10 billion naira originally approved for airport. Mark this, we didn't take that money from the coffers of Abia State government. The money was a loan from UBA PLC. Mark this, on the 13th of November 2020, the State Executive Council met, reviewed the presentation of the governor on his meeting with traditional rulers. Check this day newspaper, check Vanguard. I think I sent a copy of the report in this day, the reports concerning the traditional rulers and so on, to your colleague. You will see that in that ESCO meeting, we agreed to shelve the airport project and to use the facility offered by UBA for road projects. And that road project, contrary to what is being said, they didn't take 1 naira from the contractor finance account until the 26th of November 2020. Until the 26th of November, when Governor Ikpeazu signed off on the list of projects to be funded. I was the one who announced to the general public those projects. On the 17th of November 2020, Governor Ikpeazu tweeted out on his then Twitter account, which we now call X, that we have shelved the airport project and that we are now using the money to deepen road infrastructure in our state. That is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And I said to people, if what you are condemning is the right of the government and the governor to change our mind, then bring it on. Because as a government, under a democratic system, we can propose to do one thing and our people will say, don't do that, don't go in that direction. It is our duty to listen to them and evaluate and say, we are going in that direction or we are not going to go in that direction. If the crime is changing our mind from airport projects to road projects, then we are guilty as charged. But the truth is that we also made clear to the whole world, these are the projects we are funded. For instance, the Oshioma flyover project received 600 million naira from that fund. Cetraco received 1 billion naira. The same company that did Oshioma flyover was going to do Abia State University Teaching Hospital Road in Aba. We gave 100 million naira.
Wait,
we listed out all the.
You mentioned 1 billion. Yeah. You mentioned after the flyover, you mentioned 1 billion naira. What was that 1 billion naira for?
Cetraco Construction Company. If you need me, if you ask your colleague there, he will give you a document I forwarded to him listing out all the contractors that received payment, when they received, how much they received, and for which project. You see, clear conscience fears no accusation, and facts are sacred. Nobody can change them. The document there, you will see the governor's signature, you will see the signature of the commissioner for works, you will see details there, which we publish for the whole world to see. So I don't know where that malicious allegation is coming from.
Okay.
Unless people are now saying, Mr. Governor, you had no right to change your mind on the basis of what the people of Abia State wanted.
Honorable sir, I'm going to come back to this point, but there is something here that is credited to the governor that his aim was to develop trade port and not airport. I don't get that very much. You're aware of that quote?
Thank you very much.
What does it mean?
I think he explained it even in the same interview. You see, if you go to places like Dubai, the airport is not just a place where planes land and take off. It is also a business hub. Because if you go to Dubai today, you will see a very massive mall attached to the airport. What the governor was saying was this: I have Abia international market that people come to buy things from outside the state. My idea will not just be to construct runways and terminal buildings. My idea is to ensure that I also bring trade and commerce to the airport in a manner that Abia can come to that same location where you have aircraft taking off and landing. And the way to do that is to provide the necessary infrastructure and bring willing traders in area to come and own small bits and pieces of shops in that location. That was what he called a trade port. And that is the modern idea in construction of airports.
Okay, I get that. Now let's still go back to the airports, the allegations, and the monies disbursed. Now, the camp of Alex Oti, His Excellency, they say that, okay, if the chiefs or the traditional rulers had come to say, we don't want an airport, please give us roads. And the idea is that when that is said, you send that 1 billion that had been sent into the contractor's account back into the state coffers. But instead, these monies went into several other accounts different from the state's account. Your response to that?
Was the money in the state account that be the show? You see, when people want to lie, they make themselves look stupid. I said it was a contractor finance arrangement with UBA. That means it wasn't even the state's money, it was money we were going to borrow. It also means that that money has always been with UBA. Now, the UBA changed the purpose because we advised on a change of purpose. We obtained all the necessary documentations to institute a change of purpose from airports to road projects. What are they talking about? You see, they think that every other person is foolish. The assumption you had when you listened to them was that the money was taken from the consolidated account of Abia State government. No, this was a UBA contractor finance arrangement. And let me tell you, less than 4 months after Governor Alex Oti assumed office, he engaged Access Bank, owned by our late brother, Herbert Mwigwe, to give him 50 billion naira contractor finance facility for Krenenborg. Krenenborg belongs to Herbert Mwigwe family too. He borrowed 50 billion naira from Access Bank, contractor finance. And just recently, when journalists asked him, how much has the state borrowed so far? He said he has not borrowed any money. And I said to the journalist that asked me that technically he is right, because what he assessed was a contractor finance facility which will bear the name of the contractor and not Abia State government as the borrower. But that is also wrong and economical with the truth, because it is Abia State government that will pay back. That was why he had to go to the House of Assembly to obtain approval for that. So he has borrowed at least 145 billion naira using the contractor finance window, including using the JAC account and the FAC account of Abia State government to do those borrowing. I have also challenged him publicly to say, Mr. Governor, the House of Assembly said they have given you approval of at least 145 billion naira borrowing, and you have used that in contractor finance arrangement. Can you explain to the people of Abia State what you have done? why you say to them that you have not borrowed any money, because that money is being paid from our FAC account. So if people come to your station and say, oh, Abia State government believe that the money should have been taken back to state account, ask them the question, was the money taken from the state account? This money belonged to UBA, and UBA placed a lien on it that will not allow it to go out until they complete the proper documentation. As at the time the money was in the bank under the management of UBA, was it Abia State government money? It can only become our money when we have processed that facility. So why do you want us to take UBA's money and return to Abia State government account so that you'll be happy? Or are you now promoting illiteracy and celebrating lack of knowledge on public sector management system? Is that what this whole thing is about? That you gather the few guys who don't know how to run the public sector and they are opening their mouth wide. I worked in the private sector, my sister. I started working in Lagos with USC Nigerian PLC. I was properly trained as a management trainee in USC, made full management in record time. From there, I have gone to different private sector organizations, from Globalcom to Colgate-Palmolive, and I understand management systems.
Okay.
I have also worked in the public sector, and I understand the public sector. So why are these people on air verbalizing ignorance?
Okay, you said now that the funds were still with the bank until the processing had been completed and so on. So at the conclusion of the process, I want to assume that happened, because part of what was said was that the 10 billion was now sent to various accounts. The various accounts, if that really happened, was it the bank that sent the monies out to these various accounts? If yes, what were these accounts for? And who were the owners of these accounts?
Thank you very much for asking that incisive question. You see, when people want to mislead, they use language, and that's what has been common with the Lesotho government. We listed about 25 construction companies, like the one I've just mentioned, China Zongbong, Ferrotes, Cetraco, Tunnel End, Rockview, Kumeko, and so on and so forth. We listed construction companies that received money from that account, and they said the money was sent to 32 accounts. Come on, Mr. Governor. Among the accounts we listed was the account of the State Ministry of Works, the account of the State Ministry of Public Utilities, because public utilities needed to spend 100 million naira on street lights. Yet the governor gave the world the impression that these are private individuals' accounts just because he likes misleading people. And I can give instances. Number one, when the issue of geometrics came up, the governor said his predecessor never invested in geometrics. And I said, Mr. Governor, please, we made an investment of $3.56 million in geometrics. Go and check your record and preserve that money and investment for the people of Abia State. He sent his goons to abuse me. And I was compelled to publish documents in his possession. As at the time he went to Channels TV, the CEO of Geometrics, Professor Barton Naji, sent him a letter saying, yes, your predecessor invested. I thought you knew. I thought it was part of your handing over note. And meanwhile, this governor never read the handing over note given to him. And I'm not even sure he's ready till today. Of course, even this issue of airport or no airport, he would have seen that we did not go ahead with the airport project if he had read his handing over note. That's number one lie he told. And then Geometrics had to come out and say, no, governor. Until they came public to say, no, governor, your predecessor actually invested. He was misleading the whole world. On another issue, he came public to say that he has cleared pension arrears of 9 years. And he said he did that with 9 billion naira. And I asked the simple question, Mr. Governor, last year, July, your commissioner for finance said the pension arrears, the historic pension arrears from the creation of Abia to date was 22 billion naira. How could 9 billion have cleared 22 billion? Because you promised pensioners that you were going to pay them everything they were being owed. And that was how the story came out, that what the governor paid was 9 months he was owing. How did we arrive at the 9 months? When he became governor, he was paying them 40% of their pension. So the balance of 60% cumulated to about 9 billion. He paid them that and made them to sign a document forfeiting their arrears. And that is why pensioners are up in arms against him. Meanwhile, newspapers have carried it. Punch newspaper carried it that OT has cleared 9 years arrears. I'll tell you another lie he has told. Because, I mean, this is a pattern. And I want you to understand this pattern and know that whatever the current governor of Abia State says must be subjected to rigorous review. Do not believe him at face value, because there is a pattern that has clearly developed. When we say to the governor, you have 1.5 billion in your 2024 budget, and the 1.5 billion is for procurement of 2 Hilux vehicles. What kind of Hilux vehicle? Are they helicopters? Are you going to buy for that amount? The governor quickly said, oh, it was typographical error. And then we checked. We checked with the House of Assembly, checked with the budget office, and discovered that it was a deliberate insertion meant to cover up other things. My sister, our governor is working from his house, but he spent 11 billion naira running the governor's office.
Okay, before we come back to look at the current administration, let's give some time to finish clearing the ones that have been leveled against you. Then we'll come back and you tell us what's going on right now and what you think. Let's go back to the fact that you said the money was meant for the roads. The chiefs wanted that money to be spent on the roads and so on. You gave a breakdown and you mentioned the fact that part of the money was also spent on street lights. And I was wondering, street lights, I know street lights are very essential, but is that not different from spending it to construct roads?
Street lights are road infrastructure. They constitute road infrastructure. They are also like roundabouts. Those are categorized under road infrastructure. In the modern era, you can't do a good road within an urban area without including street light, because you want to deepen the trading time, extend the economic time of your people. There is business and economy for the morning and afternoon. There is also business and economy for the night. If you are a serious-minded leader in this modern era, there is no way you can do roads in Abia and Omo here without including infrastructure like traffic lights and, where necessary, street lights, and of course also roundabouts. So yes, like I stated, we paid 100 million naira from that same 10 billion loan to Ministry of Public Utility. Ministry of Works received about 1.8 billion, basically for the projects involving direct labor, maintenance projects. And now we also have a full list, and I wish your colleague in the station can run through that list. It is available for everybody to see which construction company. You will not see a single individual receiving money. You will not see my name, John Oki Kalo, there. You will not see Ikpazu's name. And quite frankly, if what the governor had conducted was a forensic audit, this whole argument wouldn't have been necessary, because the forensic audit would have established the movement of the 10 billion naira from UBA to the various accounts and establish who owns those accounts. And of course, construction companies are registered. They have a registered office. They have registered owners. And if anybody is interested, that person can put those people to task, because actually, when you pay a construction company, one of the things you will likely see is money used to procure asphalt, money used to pay workers, and so you can track that money via forensic audit to the last man and see if one kobo went to the purse of John Okikalo or Dr. Keji Pazo. They didn't do a forensic audit. They did a process review and lied in USA. In the United States of America, you had the temerity to lie about a forensic audit. Come on, that's not leadership.
I have a list here, or some pictures of some of the roads that were said to be constructed, and you tell me if these were from the money we were talking about, the 10 billion naira now diverted to building of roads as requested by the traditional leaders. I have the Osisioma flyover, Abawere Road, Aba, Ozuku Road, Aba, Ururuka Road, Okigwe Road in Abatu, Immaculate Road, Agalaba Ring Road, and there is one here, Umwakata Awom. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you know the road I'm talking about.
My sister, those
Yes,
are
sir.
just few of them.
Yes.
There is another document you have there. In that document, you see the signature of Governor Ikpeazu. Please read through the road projects, the contractors, and how much they were paid, each of them. It is there in black and white. That's transparency. You see, the only reason people took this allegation serious was simply because people don't expect a governor to lie. So everything a governor says about his predecessor, they assume that it is true, because it is not normal in public leadership for a governor to lie, to say he did forensic audit, to say my predecessor ate 10 billion naira. The only reason why they are not talking about process is because we gave a lie to the initial statement. Because if you recall, the governor said, I have been looking for the airport. I used native intelligence. I could not find it. I am using AI. I am still looking for it. But when we gave a lie to that story, he's now asking, what about process of doing it? But initially, he said the money was stolen. Now he's contending with us on those contractors. And we're even saying to him, Mr. Governor, you are now the chief executive of Abia State. Bring in all the contractors one by one and say, is it true you receive XYZ money? If you want to do that. If you don't want to do that, you can as well do what you said you have done, which is to give the report to the EFCC. And I can tell listeners right now that the EFCC had reviewed the 10 billion transaction before now. The man at the center of it, Ferrotes, who was the lead consultant in the transaction, had gone there and presented his own bank statement showing the day the money came in, showing the distribution of the money. He brought the letters from the government, he brought the MOU he signed, and he brought pictures and videos of all the road projects that were done with that fund. So the same Ferrotes that Governor Lesot is now maligning worked with Mr. Peter Obi when he was governor. The same company worked with Obiano, worked with Buruburu, worked with Sullivan, is working with the current governor, worked with Governor Wike in Rivers State, worked with us, and is also working with Governor Lesoti. That was the same contractor that delivered Shalom Street and Umuimu Road in Aba for Governor Lesoti, and he praised them to high heavens. Meanwhile, he said he had a forensic audit report saying that they are criminals, but he was praising them. And after that, still awarded 22 kilometers of road to the same Ferrotes. Yet he's destroying the man because of his bitterness against his predecessor. Who does that?
Now, I'm wondering, I have a lot of messages here, or some messages have come in. The line has been buzzing. We'll take some calls later. But a lot of the messages I have here, they're all complaining that there are no roads. There were no roads in Abia. They're listening to you, and that is what's, for instance, the last line of this person here, Onyeka Chief, who is in sending this from Egbada, says that you've been mentioning road, that there are no passable road, or there were no passable road in Abia State. This is what he just said. Some other person wrote that. I have how many of them? Yes, please. Yeah.
You see, when a lie is circulated over and over again, people begin to believe it. Let me make one point. The Abowere Road you saw there is one of those projects that people are stealing and saying that it was Oti that did it. It's actually Ikpeazu that did it. The Osioma flyover, if the man Onyekachi said he has not seen it, to God be the glory. But I know they are also trying to credit it to Oti. The only problem they have is the fact that it is clearly emblazoned Okezu Abia. So unless he wants to tear out the Okezu Abia, he can't claim it. Now, it is so frightening that a project under my supervision, the remodeling of Aria, that I supervised from demolition to the current stage where it is now, that somebody and a group of people went online to say it was done by Alex Oti, and people believe, and they are saying, oh, see what Alex Oti has done in such a short time, they are praising him. But it was me, John Okikalo, that started from scratch to that stage where that project is today. And the facts are available, but the likes of Oyekachi may not have seen it, because it seems to me that people see what they want to see.
What about declaring of...
Who is it that lives in Abia? My sister, who lives in Abia that does not know Immaculate Avenue, that it was done by Ikpeazu? Where is that person that lives in Abia that will not know that Osusu Road was done by Ikpeazu? Can I see who will say that the Zuku Road up to Cemetery was not done by Ikpeazu? These were roads that were completely impassable as at the time Ikpeazu came on board in 2015. Who is that man that will say that Fox Road was not done by Governor Ikpeazu? Where is the person saying that MCC Road, Samek, was not done by Ikpeazu? Can I see who will say to me that Kamalu Road was not done by Ikpeazu? Ehere, Ukebu, Umuola. I mean, I don't know. See, I understand that a lot of our people who were living or who still live in Lagos, we are the receiving end of massive propaganda from Alex Oti and his team when we were in government. I sympathize with those who believed it, because they thought that was the truth. But what they should not check is this. If you go back to Aba today and use any good road in Aba today, that road has the signature of OKC Ikpeazu on it. And I say that with every sense of responsibility. As a man born and bred in Aba, I went to Isiama High School in Aba. So I should know who did what.
Now that we're in Aba, Honorable Sir, now that we're in Aba, let's just stop there a bit. Aba was seen to have been very filthy, and we saw the current governor put on his gloves, put on his boots, and they went about cleaning Aba of huge refuse dumps. Why were these there? Because said that they found it like that, so like the first few weeks they had to clean up. Why did Aba get to that level of filth? What happened? Is
it one of the drawbacks of leadership in Nigeria is the excessive consumption of propaganda by the led, and the consumption of film tricks as against action. A governor climbed an excavating machine for 1 minute, and then you have said he rolled off his ship and went to clean up. 1 minute, not more than 60 seconds, that the governor climbed an excavation machine, and we are now saying he rolled up. Let me tell you the background.
No, but was the filth there or not? Was the filth there or not?
That's what I want to tell you.
Okay, I wait to hear.
That's what I want to tell you. I want to answer you. You say Aba, I think we did a measurement of the amount of waste that come out every day. If you leave Aba without waste evacuation for 24 hours up to 48 hours, you will have a mess. We left on May 29, 2023. The video you saw or the pictures you saw of the governor was in July. If he could not organize or maintain the existing waste disposal infrastructure from May 29 to July, what do you think happened? The waste were there because nobody evacuated them. And now he's making it look like he has just done something miraculous. Let me also tell you another instance. Before we left office, we completed the Enyimba Garment Factory. And it was commissioned by Governor, the then governor of Enugu State, Gburugburu, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, His Excellency Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. We did Enyimba Shoe Factory, which was commissioned by former Senate President. We also did the multi-specialist hospital in Aba. But because of the bitterness and hatred Governor Alex Oti had for his predecessor, he abandoned all these facilities, including the new government house, and waited. Now that they have all gone bad, he will carry cameramen and say, is this not the facility they said they built? Meanwhile, we positioned security men at these facilities as we were leaving, and we said, take over immediately, deploy your team to all these places to avoid the lacuna in governance. But because he's more interested in propaganda than in preserving the assets of Abia State, he's allowing assets put in place by his predecessor to rot away. So my simple answer to you, my sister, is from the time we left May 29 and you refuse to evacuate West or to pay those people that we used to pay to evacuate West up till July, will West not accumulate for you to come and do photo ops? What the governor did was photo ops.
But was the place cleaned or not?
I want to believe that it will be evacuated. We were also evacuating refuse. So, of course, naturally, he has now been able to set a structure in place. And I can speak to that and say to you that that structure is working. Even though we still see, issues of wrong waste disposals here and there. I have, my phone is full of pictures. The only thing I say to people is, with time, he will get it right. If he moves towards private sector, he will finally get it right. So the fact that we have isolated issues still remaining does not necessarily mean that he's not doing anything. No.
Okay, I want to say something. Since we've been having this conversation, I can't count the number of times you've used the word liar, lies, and so on. But it would interest you to know that all the while I had the other team here, they didn't say anything nasty about, they didn't call names or anything, but the word liar, liar, liar has been plenty so far. Maybe we could tone it down too and just go on with the facts. It just crossed my mind now that we should go that route. Yeah,
I agree with you. I have been struggling to find another word to use for lying.
Maybe you say not correct.
So what not I now
correct. Do? Not correct. You can try that one.
If you notice, I now say misleading. So I agree with you. I would want to tone it down, but my English is not very good. Because it is limited. I have lie. If somebody lies, I say the person is a liar. But I will stop. I will not be using not correct. I'll be using misleading until my English improves adequately.
You just reminded me of one minister who said he studied in the village. He doesn't speak Fune, doesn't speak English. But meanwhile, you've been speaking big English since. Anyway, but thank you for
I am a village boy. You can see my accent.
It's not by accent. Let's leave that.
In those days, they used to call me Okoro accent, my accent Okoro accent. And I was so proud of it because it means it's an identifying badge. Just the same way I'm proud of a Yoruba man speaking with Yoruba accent or an Hausa man speaking with Hausa accent. I love it because I don't see why I should borrow the accent of the British or the American. No. I will speak like an Igbo man. I'm an Igbo man wearing a red cap.
Okay, let's look at the issue of security. One thing that came to the fore immediately, the new governor, or some months down the line, Joseph Olorunso is here. We just wanted to speak about everything. Joseph will still come in, and we're going to take some calls because the lines have been buzzing. Your people are waiting to talk to you, so we'll come to that point shortly. Let's talk about security. When Governor Alex Otti came in, there was the issue of the night market, Lotana. Yeah, that market where they found they found a lot of corpses, buried skeletons, decapitated bodies, and so on. That's made the big news. What was going on with security during your time? How come such a thing happened?
Thank you very much. One thing is clear. Under the watch of Governor Ikpeazu, Abia was rated the most secure state in the Southeast and among the top 3 most secure states in Nigeria. When the multi-dimensional poverty index report was released post-2022, Abia was rated among the 3 best states. Abia was 3rd under Ikpeazu. When the primary health care under one roof report was released, Ikpeazu's Abia came first with a gold award. Yes, I admit, and I'm happy to say that Governor Alex Otti has largely maintained the security infrastructure and architecture put in place by Dr. Ikpeazu. Yes, there are issues around kidnapping and all that. There will always be such problems, isolated issues. But when you look at security, you are looking at it from a relative point of view. So to me, Governor Lesoti has done well in maintaining that security architecture. As regards Lopanta, if you notice, that report said, the governor said, fresh human deaths, fresh. Fresh suggests to me that it happened under his watch. There might also be others that happened.
They had decomposing skeletons, buried bodies. I understand.
You understand the meaning of decomposing?
I understand. A body can take a while to decompose, so depending on the situation. There were skeletons.
So, okay. So let's take it from this perspective. There were decomposing bodies and there were fully decomposed bodies. Correct?
Let's take
including the skeletons you mentioned. Yes. So now, the measures he took to protect the people of Abia State must have been based on information available to his government. From where I am sitting, I should think that a governor will have to be given kudos for taking measures to protect his people. And I find nothing wrong with that. I find nothing wrong with him taking measures to protect our people. Look, on our watch, we found out that the cattle market in Waterside, Abia, was constructing an incubation ground for miscreants, hoodlums, armed robbers, and all kinds of people. I personally led the team that relocated that market from Waterside to the outskirts of Abia, the cattle market there. I personally, as Commissioner for Trade and Investment, led the team that demolished Ahiudele at Waterside and moved the traders to Good Morning Market. From time to time, a governor must take hard decisions on security. And I stand with the governor, Dr. Lesoti, on the decision he took regarding Lopanta. I'm not going to fault him on that. And like I said earlier, I think he has continued to maintain the security architecture that Ikpazu put in place. That architecture is very robust, much more robust than many people know. It's just that we are constrained not to discuss it in public.
Okay.
But it is working for Abia. Abia remains one of the safest states, and I congratulate the governor for doing what he has done in ensuring that we continue to have a state that is safe for all of us.
Okay, I'll be opening the lines now. 0700 903 903 903. No matter how you feel, no matter what you're thinking, when you do call in, your calls will remain civil. You tell us where you're calling from, your name, and you have 30 seconds to just say what you need to say. If it's to ask a question, you go ahead and do that, but you must be civil and you will go straight to the point. I'll still read some messages here. Somebody here says that, okay, all right, let's take that way. Hello? I've picked your call. Hello? Okay, hold on. The person seems to be talking, but we can't seem to hear. Hello? Okay, please hold on. I'll need the technical team to please come sort this out. Something is on there. If you can, you please hold on. Hello? All right, while you're fixing that, I have this message here, and this person just believes. Okay, I can hear you now. Turn down the volume on your radio. All right, your name. Okay, you have to call back and please turn down the volume on your radio set. And this person is wondering why you close your Facebook comment section, because it says from those who will tell you the truth, you closed your Facebook comment section. He wants to know why, and also wants to know why didn't the Okezie probe his two ex-predecessors, namely Orji Uzo Kalu and Theodore Orji, known to have EFCC cases for the misappropriation of Abia State Commonwealth. Okay, hello?
I'll respond to those.
Madam Cornelia.
Okay, somebody's on the line. 30 seconds, your name.
Yeah, Nemeka from Edo. Morning once again.
Morning.
Please, this is what I understand inside this all. This is the moment of the truth. You people have to invite the incumbent and the past government. You understand me?
Yeah.
For us to know the truth from the two parties. You understand?
Okay.
From there, we can get a good record and better Nigeria. You understand me?
Okay.
God bless you.
God bless you too. Okay, we hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. The last caller. My Facebook page is my private Facebook. That account has been like that since 2007 when I opened it. The comment page is open to my friends only. It's a security setting. If you are my friend on Facebook, you can comment on my post. But you can also comment when I tag another friend of yours. So a friend's friend can comment. The truth is not whether you tell me the truth, because most of I can't even have you as a friend if you are not robustly intelligent. What I don't want is to open my Facebook page to abusiveness. Not even abusing me is my problem, but when they abuse others who are there, I feel the pain. If I know you and I know you to be somebody that is responsible, why would I open my Facebook page to you? I will do that. But again, there is a public page that was created by me when I was in the government, Abia page. Go there. Most of the things concerning politics that I post, I also posted there. You can go there and say whatever you want to say, and people will appreciate you for your abusiveness or otherwise. Regarding probe of his predecessors, my sister, Dr. Okezi Ikpeazu was elected governor of Abia State. He was not appointed
please hold on.
head of any anti-graft agency. He chose to focus on his work and move forward. If any anti-graft agency has reason to probe anybody, Governor Okezi Ikpeazu allowed them to do that. There were instances where even my colleagues in government were invited by anti-graft agencies, and they voluntarily went there to explain themselves. So a governor is not, unless the governor wants to distract himself, there are jobs you should focus on. When it comes to we have ICPC, we have EFCC, we have Code of Conduct Review. Let those statutorily invested with the powers and the means to execute those assignments, go ahead and do it while you continue with the task of governance. The only reason why Governor Lesotho is doing this is because, number one, he has been under pressure because of the level of expenditure of his government as revealed by his own published
please hold on. Hold on.
You want me to move on, Cordelia?
No. Somebody's call came in and I was telling him to hold on. Please, if you can hear me, we will pick your call, right? Because we're sharing the same line. You're both sharing the same line. Once we pick your call, don't say anything until I now talk to you. I just need you to, once you wrap up, so I can take another call. So you were saying?
So basically, all those proofs, they are all meant to distract the people. Governor Lesotho is trying to distract the people from his own report, financial account report. For instance, our governor has spent 11 billion naira to maintain the office of governor, whereas he's working from home, and he promised us that he's going to be accountable to us and that he's going to be frugal like our brother and leader P2B.
May I ask a question? Yes, if it's called the government house, right, it is meant to be in a good shape. Even if it's working from home, is that place not supposed to be taken care of? Even if it's working from home?
It is different from the money spent on taking care of the government house. Running the office of governor is different. Do you understand? Running the office of governor speaks to expenditure associated with that office. Okay. If you are working from home and we are seeing you eating food,
yes.
You said you bought food stuff of 263 million naira. You said refreshment and meals 493 million naira. You said purchase of kitchen equipment 15 million, and then meal subsidy 126 million. I'm wondering who you are subsidizing meals for, and you are telling us that welfare packages is 931 million naira.
If he's working from home, is the staff not still with him? The staff will still be working.
So why is he working from home? Is it that we don't have a government house where he can occupy? Why is he working from home? Is it even legally okay for government documents to be exposed at the home level? Where is the difference between the private bedroom of the governor and official data and information.
Okay, let's
Why do we ask governors to maintain an office where we can from there get continuity information? God forbid that anything happens to our governor. By the grace of God, nothing will ever happen.
Okay, let's take a couple of calls now.
But how do we get documents for continuity? Because they are all in his house. How do we access those documents?
Okay, let's talk to this person. I will explain shortly. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Good morning.
Morning, what's your name?
My name is Ensu. I'm calling from Baraga, though I'm from Imo State.
Okay, 30 seconds.
I just came down to
30 seconds.
If you can remember, I was the one that asked you to call John Oki.
Okay, on Friday.
Because of the interview, he connected to family love. So I've heard everything John Oki said. I'm very proud of that man. So it's for you to compare and contrast.
Okay, I get you.
Who is saying the truth?
Okay, I get you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning. My name is Chukwudi. Although I'm not from Abia State, but I have a question for the commissioner.
Where are you calling
former
from?
commissioner.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from UK.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, can the commissioner tell us why his principal, the former governor, was owing the doctors for more than two years?
All right, that's all right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You heard that?
No, I didn't.
He said, why was your principal owing the doctors for more than 2 years?
Okay. Let me start by thanking the other caller for his kind words. I appreciate that. And I assure him and others that a lie may have traveled a 1,000 kilometer distance. The truth will overtake it.
So what's the truth here?
The truth is what you have heard concerning the airport project. The truth is what you have heard concerning the tendency of our governor not to. What did you say I should be using? You said I should not be saying lie.
Don't say lie. Don't say lie. Say misleading, not correct.
Okay, mislead. Okay. The tendency of our governor to mislead, like he did with forensic audit instead of process review, with geometrics and with pensioners and so on. Now, our governor told the whole world that he was not going to take security vote. A publication in the Punch, which is also with you, in February 2023, had him clearly saying he won't take security vote.
No, you are answering the question of the doctors. So let's just answer that.
I'm coming to the doctors. I am coming to the doctors.
Okay.
I was just going to round up and say that in the first 3 months of his administration, our governor was taking 930 million naira every month as security vote. So far, he has collected 4.4 billion naira. Now, concerning the doctors, yes, we had a standing with the doctors, but what was the reason? Nobody is asking that. As of 2015, I was in the office of the then governor Ikpeazu, and I wasn't in government as at that time, when he had a meeting with the doctors from Abia State University Teaching Hospital and their management as well as their unions. And they said to him, Mr. Governor, we have outstanding. Help us to pay off this outstanding, and we will be able to work and generate revenue that will help us pay our salaries. And the governor found that the outstanding was 11 months, and by September of that year, we paid off the 11-month arrears in one full tranche. What that means is that if you were owed 500,000 a month as a doctor, you were receiving 500,000 a month times 11, that's 5.5 million. That's what.
Well, sorry, it timed out. We're going to get him back while we're working on that. Joseph, you've been listening, patiently listening. Let me hear you. And we'll take some calls and write down the questions before they come. Hello, how are you? Hello? I've taken your call. I can't hear you. Hello? Okay, you try calling back. All right, Joseph?
Well, I patiently listen, and I'm reflecting back to what we heard from the the spokesperson of the current governor. I think it's good. The people of Abia will continue to comment VOP. No, people are seeing the both sides of
the story.
If we are
very sure the both sides is the next.
No, at least they are from what someone is saying something. You'll be taking some. The one will be receiving them in one way or the other.
Okay, that line dropped. So, what have you taken so far?
What I've taken is if I will have opportunity to be a governor tomorrow, I will be careful because someone will come and want to look at what I've done so far and compare all of them. Then, like the one of airports, I think if what he says actually what is in the book, I think the money they say they push the money to another place, and secondly that involvement of a financial institution in that money, we did hear of that.
Okay, we will need to find out how the plan for payment. Hello? Okay, it's back.
Hello.
Yes, your name. Turn down the volume on your radio set. I'm going to be putting you back on. Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
Hello.
You will call back. And when you're calling back, you turn down the volume on your radio set, please. If not, we won't be able to communicate. Joseph?
Yeah, so we equally find out from the maybe we have to find a way to reach the bank to know the role, the role, whether they are the one that facilitate that airport, and when they trying to.
Hello.
Okay. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning. Your name?
My name is Carlo Nkem.
Where are you calling
I'm
from?
calling from Lagos.
Okay, Carlo, you have 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I think I should have more than 30 seconds.
No. You have 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds, please.
All right. I'm staying in Umuahia, precisely.
Okay.
The state capital. Now, what I want people, I'm not going to condemn.
Please, Honorable, listen. I hope you can hear this person. Welcome back.
Yes, I can hear him.
Okay,
he's actually from Abia, and among the projects we paid for, one of them is Abia Maring Road. Let him confirm.
Okay, all right. Go ahead.
I'm still on the line.
We know you're still on the line. Oh, yeah, carry on.
Okay. I'm not here to praise or condemn anybody. I just want to give you some facts.
Okay.
Uki Italo is somebody we should call a good son of a bad man. Yes. He should be in the present government today, considering who he is. But some of the things, he's just there now. They know he has a clean record. That's why they put him there now. Because most of the questions that is being asked, he can't answer them. He's not even giving us a straight answer. But notwithstanding, I'm going to tell you some of the routes in Abia was actually done. But most of them was not. Most was not touched. There had never been any single street light in Umuahia for that 8 years. Bazo was there. I'm not here to tell you to condemn it, I'm just telling you things that I've been saying. I came to Lagos just 2 weeks ago. I stayed in Umuahia. There had never been any single street light for that 8 years. That man that you invited, that you will be speaking with, that man has a good record. I think he should be one of the people that is in running our present government.
Okay.
That is why they bring him, because they know he's a good man.
Okay, I get you. Thank you. Carlo, thank you very much. Carlo, thank you very much. I got what Carlo. Did you hear the first thing that Carlo said? Carlo said that you are like a good son of a bad father, and that you are a very good man who should be working with this current government and not where you were before. That you are here. They sent you here because they know that you are a good man. That was what he said about you. He now went on to say that as for